Welcome to this video on Claude Mythos, the AI considered too dangerous for public release, and why every tech professional must understand its implications. This model, announced in April 2026, has already fundamentally changed cybersecurity. Claude Mythos is Anthropic's most powerful AI, capable of autonomously finding and exploiting software vulnerabilities faster and more reliably than most human hackers. Anthropic likened releasing it to giving a master skeleton key to everyone. It was announced in April 2026, is not public, and access is restricted to about 40 vetted organizations for defensive use due to its capability to find 0 days in major operating systems and browsers. Mythos is not an incremental update. Its capabilities include autonomous vulnerability discovery, successfully writing exploits for over half of 40 exploitable CVEs without human intervention. The UK's AISI found it achieved a 73% success rate on expert-level hacking tasks. It also autonomously exploited a 17-year-old FreeBSD vulnerability and found 271 Firefox bugs in one internal testing session. The numbers behind Mythos are industry-shaking. A 73% success rate on expert-level hacking tasks contrasts with 0% for prior AI models before April 2025. It found 271 vulnerabilities in Firefox in a single session, with 99% remaining unpatched at announcement. Critically, it took only 5 days to bypass Apple's $1 billion memory integrity enforcement protection on M5 chips. Project Glasswing is Anthropic's controlled deployment approach, built to manage the model's immense power. Access is granted to major tech firms and government entities under strict rules: defensive use only, adherence to responsible disclosure norms, and NDA-backed agreements. Anthropic committed $100 million in usage credits for defensive work. The Apple M5 incident highlighted Mythos's speed. In May 2026, a Palo Alto firm used Mythos to bypass Apple's memory integrity enforcement. From identifying the first bugs on April 25 to a working root exploit on May 1, the AI compressed a $1 billion protection bypass into less than a week. The researchers followed responsible disclosure norms, but no patch has been shipped yet. This is the dual-use paradox. Mythos's power for defense is devastating as an offense tool. In attacker hands, it finds 0 days in hours and weaponizes exploits autonomously, making sophisticated cyber attacks nearly free. In defender hands, it finds bugs proactively, compresses research timelines, and is already being used by the Pentagon to patch US systems. The core weakness of controlled access was revealed on day 1. A third-party vendor environment allowed a private Discord group to gain unauthorized access to Mythos within hours of its announcement. This breach highlights the fragility of restricted access models. Furthermore, adversaries may already possess similar capabilities, intensifying the asymmetry problem. The bigger picture is AI-powered cyber war, where AI-enabled attacks are surging, as predicted by CrowdStrike. AI can now find and weaponize exploits rapidly, drastically reducing attack timelines. Since these attacks cost almost nothing, nation-state capabilities are now available to criminal groups. Most organizations outside Project Glasswing lack this AI insight for defense. ExploitBench, a peer-reviewed benchmark, tested AI models against known browser vulnerabilities. Mythos Preview scored 9.90 out of 16, successfully achieving full code execution in 21 out of 41 cases. This significantly outperforms other frontier models like GPT-4o and Gemini Ultra. Note that these tests used publicly known vulnerabilities and did not test for discovering new ones. Anthropic built Mythos based on the racing to safety argument. If this capability is inevitable, it should be developed by safety-focused actors first to establish responsible norms. They believe defenders need a head start to patch vulnerabilities before adversaries exploit them. The withholding of Mythos also sets a precedent for governing future capability jumps in the industry. Critics raise valid counterarguments to Project Glasswing. Access is deeply unequal, benefiting only a few Western entities. Commercial interests complicate the security mission due to the high cost of access. The day one breach showed controlled access is fragile. Furthermore, other labs are racing to catch up, and there's no international framework dictating who decides what safe enough means. Governments are scrambling to respond to the Mythos threat. The United Kingdom has been most proactive, granting early access for evaluation and briefing financial sectors. The US response is complex, with the NSA and Pentagon using Mythos, but lacking a unified framework. The Financial Stability Board is pending a briefing. Most of the world remains exposed without access to this AI for defense. For security engineers and pen testers, AI-augmented pen testing is now the baseline expectation, and patch cadence must accelerate. CTOs and engineering leaders must budget for AI-assisted security scanning, as the risk of inaction is existential. AI/ML practitioners must understand that reasoning plus code execution is the architecture pattern behind Mythos-class capability. Key terms include zero-day, a vulnerability exploitable before a patch exists; privilege escalation, gaining root access from a low-privilege account, was central to the Apple M5 exploit. ExploitBench is the peer-reviewed AI hacking benchmark. Bugmageddon is the feared scenario where AI outpaces patching. Dual-use AI means a capability equally useful for attack and defense. Let's review the complete Mythos timeline. It began with the announcement on April 7th, coinciding with a Discord group breach. The UK AISI reported high success rates for Mythos in expert hacking tasks. By late April, it cracked Apple's M5 security. Today, Apple hasn't patched the M5 exploit, and 99% of Mythos-found vulnerabilities remain unpatched. Looking ahead, several scenarios require attention. The race is narrowing fast as competitors launch models. AI-augmented attacks on critical infrastructure are highly likely. Patching infrastructure risks breaking down due to the sheer volume of AI-discovered vulnerabilities. International governance is emerging, and a public Mythos release remains a low but discussed possibility. 10 essential facts. Mythos is controlled but broke Apple's security in 5 days. It had a 73% hacking success rate, yet 99% of its findings are unpatched. The system was breached on day one, showing the same tool defends and attacks. AI attacks surged 89% in 2025, and manual security is now inadequate. Finally, governance is lagging, and others are quickly catching up. Here's what you can do right now. Immediately audit your patch status, prioritizing internet-facing and end-of-life software. This week, enable AI-assisted security scanning tools like GitHub Copilot Security. This month, get fluent in the technical vocabulary and threat landscape. Ongoing, track governance developments, as your awareness is crucial. The bottom line is that Mythos didn't create the cybersecurity crisis. It simply revealed how close we already were. The window to get ahead of this threat is open right now. The question is whether we, as defenders, will use it.